everyone, happy Friday. I'm back with a video this week, but thank you to everyone who responded to my email I sent you last week. Yes, the email mailing list is really powerful, and I will at some point go through some potential email mailing list providers that you might use. I use MailerLite, just discovered them and I absolutely love them. If you haven't got one already, that's my top recommendation. But I thought, you know what, we talked a lot about mindset, business running. This is all really valuable, useful stuff. But we mustn't forget actually, what's our job? We are yoga teachers. So today I'm just going to say, do we overcue? Do we give too many verbal instructions? Do we not trust our students or the body, the human body, to self-organize itself more? And what I mean by this is sometimes we have this feeling that we've got to give all these alignment cues, you know, and in our language, we might be creating stories around good posture, bad posture, correct alignment. And don't forget, our students, including us, we've all got them, will have quite powerful stories. And as yoga teachers, can we not add to those stories? So the first thing I want to say is, can you dump the term good posture, correct posture, bad posture? Because if there is correct posture, then we're suggesting there's incorrect posture. If there is good posture, we're suggesting there's bad posture. So this is the power of language, okay? Posture, shape, asana, pose. These are just all moments in time when we express our anatomy, okay? All it is, all posture is its expression of our anatomy in that time. Posture only becomes a problem when it is out of balance and causing suffering, or we get stuck in a habit or shape and then try and load movement onto that shape, which is out of balance. Okay, so there is no such thing as good or bad or correct posture. What we're trying to look for is a balanced posture and a freedom of movement through the system. So if you really want a word around posture, try and use the word balanced, spacious, free. Then that leads me on to alignment. Don't get me wrong, and a lot of you are newly qualified teachers who just trained with me, and we spent time looking at poses and looking at suggested alignment for the pose. Alignment provides a structure, an overall shape for a posture, okay? And in some cases, alignment also indicates where we might sit so it'd be balanced. So let's take Virabhadrasana 2. We want to be careful that that front knee doesn't roll in, because that would put compression on the inner knee joint, and compression isn't balanced, isn't space. So we would then invite that person to take the knee to the center of the foot or out to the baby toe. But what happens if the external rotation isn't there in the hip for that? What are you going to do there? You have to come out of those cues of alignment where the heel of the front foot must be in line with the arch of the back foot. Maybe that person needs to move their front foot to the side more. Maybe they need to turn their front foot out. You know, alignment is a guide, okay? But all of us have a unique blueprint. And if that blueprint is unique and you're teaching 15 people in one class, who is responsible for understanding their unique blueprint and working around it? I hate to break it to you, it's not you, you know, it's the individual. Here's another thing I hate to break to you. Who's the person that knows their body the best? They do, okay? All you are doing as a yoga teacher is perhaps not even teaching them yoga, but guiding them to what they know. The system, the body, is a self-organizing system with a deep, innate intuition into knowing what it needs. The problem is there's lots of layers over this intuition. And as a yoga teacher, we're just looking to burn away those layers. So my suggestion to you with your teaching is, can I reduce the verbal cues? Of course, don't abandon alignment completely, but is there a way that I can reduce the verbal cues, reduce the amount of language? Because sometimes we also get overload. Spread through the soles of the feet, root through the inner arches, outer arches of the feet. Isometrically draw the feet together, hug the shins in, thighs out, lengthen down for the table, draw the navel, lengthen down for the tailbone, draw the belly in, feel the spine elongate out of the pelvis, soften the shoulders away from the ears, lift through the crown of the head. Overwhelm, okay? 3 verbal instructions as an absolute max, okay? And pick 3 that you think are most useful universally to everyone. And then this leads me to my favorite thing, which may help us to unravel more what's going on in people. So we are all subjected to this. Gesture, habit, posture, structure, belief, all of this is going on and interspersing and impacting how we approach any movement, okay? Some of it consciously and some of it subconsciously. So, let's pick a yoga pose to start with. So, I've been doing plank to chaturanga. I've been practicing the Ashtanga series, but this is an imaginary world. And I've got into a habit as I come down into chaturanga of not dropping to knees, but collapsing around knees, shoulders in, okay? I am not dropping to my knees because I believe that means I am weak. So in a gesture to counter that belief, I've decided I am not going to drop to knees, but I'm falling into a habit which is actually damaging and impacting into the posture, the shape I make, and impacting the balance between my system, my posture, impacting on the structure, and may over time create an injury, for example. Or I am stressed. Stress is relative. Okay, what is stressful situation to someone is not to another. Okay, I am stressed. I believe I'm stressed. I've been told that when I'm stressed, my shoulders are tight. It's really simple, but how do you know? You know, we look at someone and see, oh, their shoulders might be up by the ears, and say, oh, are you stressed? We see a teenager with their hoodie up and their shoulders hunched over. Huh, they're depressed. We've made assumptions which may cause a story. Oh, am I stressed? I am stressed. You're right. I'm stressed. So that belief that I gave that person becomes a greater gesture, which becomes a habit, which changes their posture. Okay. So, and over time can impact our structure. Bones can remodel over time. We can get growth spurts in the spine, bunions in the foot. So it is so interesting to play around with this, okay? And it suddenly means, once we get this, that we stop making assumptions about people and their bodies, okay? Let's do another one. You can have so much fun with this. So, gesture. A gesture might be, you know, I'm going to share, and there was a lady once who was a midwife who'd done my pre and postnatal teacher training course. And she was moaning that she had pain on the left SI joint, okay? And I could see in her structure that she was stuck in a posture of a lengthening down the left side of her waist and a shortening down the right side of her waist. Okay, so I could see there was something in her posture and structure, her shape, okay, that would be causing the pain on the left SI joint. So how did she end up there? Well, it wasn't a belief system, okay, but it started off as a gesture. She was a midwife, and she would come and lean over standing. I'm sitting at the moment, but come over leaning standing and have a look what's going on. She always leaned to the right. She always put her right elbow on her right thigh. This became a gesture, okay? She's in a busy, stressful job, so she's not paying attention. It became a habit, which impacted her posture and started to cause pain in her structure. That pain was giving her a belief system that her body was broken. Okay, and it all started from a gesture. So sometimes our issues are in our tissues. Sometimes our issues, our mental issues, don't create physical pain. Sometimes physical pain creates mental issues. And I really think it's so important as yoga teachers that we don't try and diagnose. But when someone's stuck in a belief, in a posture, in a habit, how can we help them? Okay, we can help them by prescribing movement in all directions, balanced action in all directions, help them move away from their stories. So even when you see someone who is wonky, okay, it's not that their posture is bad. Okay, yeah, there's some imbalance in the system, but we, through movement, can do something about it. So this is where language is so important. You can see I'm really passionate about this. So as you're teaching, try and move away from language, and it's really hard, really hard the minute you start paying attention to it. Start moving away from language that might be enforcing people's stories. Balanced action, space. Trying not to attach ourselves to labels and stories. Pay attention to these, but then move away from them. Don't be ruled by them. So there's some grand stuff to think about on Friday. No good or bad posture. And I love my little cycle. We are all subjected to this, okay? Our yoga practice helps us to manage this. This is life, okay? This is what happens to us, we're humans. And our yoga practice helps us to manage this so we can maintain balance in our bodies, balance in our systems.